For those of you I don't know, I'm Samira. I manage Cisco's media division. For those of you guys new to Cisco, yes, we sell things that are not just phones, right? We know quite a bit about IP and the route switch domain, and as we are shifting on this journey of digitization, we believe we can add great value in that capacity. So. All right, so every day, all of you are being judged on the value that you're bringing to market, and with the democratization of production and industry disruptors coming out, the need to move fast and be able to find new opportunities to monetize content is extremely important. So we are helping many organizations understand how they can begin to address that. So there's 4 areas that we're starting to see organizations shift to. The first is migrating live production to IP. The second, which we'll talk about right now, is accelerating media operations with content supply chains based on cloud and IP, which I'll dive into. The third box is around evolving content to engage talent or audience members in a new capacity. We've done quite a bit of that with Ellen, for example. We use our collaboration tools to bring in different audience members around the world and do that in a very, very cost-effective manner. And then lastly, you have to make sure that the infrastructure that you are deploying is secure across the entire value chain. So not just infrastructure security, but content security as well. So I'm gonna just double click here on the area that we've highlighted in orange. And we have a solution set called the Blueprint, the Media Blueprint. If you guys are interested in this, come by the booth. We're in South Upper in the 800 aisle. But we're addressing 4 fundamental questions. And the first is what we're going to dive in here, which is how can I flexibly scale my operation? We also have solutions that are enhancing your ability to reach new audiences, to operate more efficiently from a cost-effective perspective, which I can talk to, and then obviously making sure your business is secure. So as we talk about flexibly scaling and introducing IP, as we move to the digitization of these libraries of tape, for example, you have to introduce IP throughout the entire ecosystem. So we're going to go all the way to the front and talk about what we do from a IP switching capacity. The one thing I want to mention that everything that we do has to be based off of open standards, a robust ecosystem, validated designs, and flexible deployment. So we want to make sure as you guys make a migration to IP, you're not going to be locked in. We hope that migration is with Cisco, but certainly as you guys are moving towards your journey to digitization, you got to make sure that you guys are keeping these pillars in mind. Cisco takes great pride in the ecosystem that we bring to bear. So under the partner integration side, you guys can see that we're partnering with companies like Chiron, Imagine, Ross, certainly Cloudian, Evertz, and others. And I think the Evertz piece is really interesting here when we talk about media asset management and some of the integrations that we've done, not only with our routing and switching environment, but our compute platforms as well, alongside of Cloudian and Evertz. We are either a part of or co-founded all the standardization bodies that you see up there. And then we're also investing heavily in the ecosystem. So as your technical teams make the transition from SDI to IP and they need to be trained on some of these new protocols, we're investing heavily in training curriculum courses and certification programs to help you make that journey. So going back to the blueprint, right? So we're going to focus on remote production and studio post-production, which these individuals have done a great job, walking through. And this diagram might speak clearly to what many of you guys face. And as you start to look at object storage, archives, and the ability to have on-prem deployment and then be able to expand agilely into the cloud, it's important to be able to have the flexibility to do so. So the solutions that we bring to bear in that capacity really are surrounding these types of pillars, right? So our goal is to help you create an abstraction layer between your physical network, compute, and storage environment by introducing cloud and virtualization. We can add automation on top of that. Media asset management certainly is one tool, and it would greatly simplify your ability to consume content and then address the needs of your business. So one of the first solutions that we have here in the introduction of SDI to IP is what we call the IP fabric for media. This is literally ripping and replacing SDI switchers with commodity off-the-shelf routing equipment. So what we do here is we create an abstraction layer between our routing environment and switching environment, and we partner with your broadcast controller of choice. So you will see Cisco's infrastructure in all the booths that you're seeing up there. You'll see us in the Evertz booth, in EVS, Imagine, Lavo, Riedels, in Snell's, as well as in Grass Valleys. And this is a proven architecture. It's been deployed at scale, and all the customers on the bottom, actually NBC Universal is one of our clients as well. So just a little bit there about the IP fabric for media. The second solution that that we're obviously, you guys are the most focused on, right, is as soon as you're able to digitize the switching infrastructure, it makes the ability to be able to move from tape to digitized types of retrieval a lot easier. So the solutions that we bring to bear here would be specifically around servers. The servers that we go to market with is the UCS series server, high density. We also introduce simplified management. So if you guys are interested in learning more about what we do in the server space, come by. I can certainly speak to you guys, but this is one of the ways that we're able to greatly accelerate workflows. But the cool thing that we can add on top of that is an acquisition that we brought to bear, Clicker. For those of you guys who are aware of Clicker, we bought them, we branded them as Cloud Center. So what this is able to do is allow you to be able to dynamically move to different cloud providers. You can model your migrations before you do them. You can move them to AWS or Google Cloud, and then you can bring them back dynamically as well. So this is very, very powerful as you start to look at your media applications and your ability to be able to go off-prem and then bring it back on demand. So this might get a little too technical for you, but basically showing our ability to be able to provide infrastructure, service abstraction, as well as operating abstraction levels. And then certainly everything that we're doing here is based primarily off of cloud monitoring, infrastructure monitoring, security insights. And again, I can speak more to this if you guys are interested in learning more. So with that, I'm gonna hand it back over to John.